Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 18 of our business growth action plan challenge. If you've been journeying with us, thank you so much for coming on. And I am Michelle O'Connor, your business growth strategist, and I work with entrepreneurs to help you to develop growth plans that sees you achieving your goals in a more focused and structured way, and thus reducing overwhelm and burnout. Now we have, as I said when we started, we're at day 18. And what we've been doing is going through the planning process. And my aim through this is to ensure that at the end of this challenge, you leave with an action plan that you can just enjoy your Christmas. You can enjoy your holidays knowing that what you need to do in Q1, Q2, Q3, and even Q4, you've already thought it out. You revise as you go along, but you've already thought it out. A friend of mine sent me an email yesterday. One of the things she was saying to me is they completed their planning process for 2026, and she said it was weird watching the team just moving around with ease. Like they know what they're going to do, and that is what having the plan does. It doesn't solve all your problems, but you know what you're going to do. You know the major projects you're going to be focusing on. You're clear on your budget, you're clear on the activities, you're clear on your ownership. It makes a huge difference, and that's what we want to help you to achieve through this. And again, thank you for coming on. If you're joining, let me know. Comment I'm here, comment day 18, so I know that you're here. And if you have any questions as we go through the process, you can also ask. And if you would love to speak with me, let's book a consultation to help you to create your plan. So you've been going through the challenge and you think that the information is valuable and you need some support to do it for your company, let me know. So we are talking this week about prioritization. And last week we worked on developing our strategies or initiatives for the year, assigned KPIs, assigned ownership and timelines. And this week we're looking back at activities that we've agreed on. Why is this important? It's important because when you create your activities to achieve your goals, you are thinking, okay, these are all the things that we need to do. Now we're at the point where we're asking ourselves the questions. We spoke about budgeting yesterday. Yesterday, we spoke about assigning a cost to the revenue targets that we have, and that is very important. And cost, not only from a monetary standpoint, but it's going to cost you your resources. We spoke about all of that. So today, we're going to be talking about prioritization. When we worked on our initiatives, I did encourage you to just go ahead and state what your initiatives are. And I wanted you to do it that way because I didn't want you to be hindered by, can we afford it? Who is going to do it? Document all your initiatives first, and then as we go through ownership and any kind of cost, that is where now you can make changes to when things gets done. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to be looking on today. And I'm going to be showing you how you can take all the initiatives that you have. And again, guys, I keep saying this, AI is here to help you. This is now how you use AI to make your job easier and allow you to gain back some time. So if you have a list of all your initiatives, and I was just thinking if I should show it to you. But if you have a list of all your initiatives, let me share my screen because I think it's best if I share with you as we go through. So if you have a list of all your initiatives, we're at day 18, but let's go back to say day 15. We can even go back to day 13, where we would have designed, let me just present this so it's clearer. We would have agreed on all these targets. We decided that these are the targets that we have. We also went through different examples. You can take these 3 slides, or if you have it in Excel, whatever document you have it in, you can take these documents and you can say, because you have timelines assigned to it, you can say to chat or you can say to AI, whichever AI tool you use, organize these for me in months, organize these for me in quarters. you don't have to sit and do it on your own. And I mean, you can write formulas if you're in Excel as well. So if we are even to go through to day 15, where we looked at the other initiatives that we created. So remember, we created some initiatives from our SWOT. We created some from what worked and what didn't work, because we want to improve and we want to continue doing what's working for us. We also had some activities that we're going to focus on that came out of our environmental analysis. Now, you can also combine all your sales activities and the activities from your assessment, and you can just ask AI, group these together for me by month, so you can have a clear view what you will be focusing on per quarter. Group these for me by year, you name it. So that is how I want you to think of using AI, so that it can help you to have a clearer view as to what it is that you're focusing on. Now, when we talk about prioritization, I want you to think of all the goals that you have. And yesterday we spoke about capacity. If you We can also let's summarize it by role. If you made a decision that you look on all the activities that your sales team is focused on, and you don't have sufficient resources to carry that out, and you don't have the money to hire somebody, you are able to make a decision that you're going to be moving that to another time. And that is why I encourage you to first, let's dream. Let's dream. Let's talk about all the activities that we're going to be focusing on. So let me share my screen so I can show you how we are going to get there. Now, we would have looked on the initiatives before. And if you're just joining and this seems new, you're not really sure what we're talking about, I really would encourage you to watch the previous videos, because we're really just continuing what we've done over the previous 17 days. Now, we would have agreed on what our targets are. One second, let me just bring up the correct slide. All right, so here we go. Again, if you're joining, let me know where you're joining from. And also, if you have any questions, please let me have your questions as well. I would really love to be able to answer them while we're here. And your question could help somebody else as well. All right, so we're talking about prioritization. So what I did, all the activities that we agreed on that we're going to be focusing on for the year, all the activities that came from improving our weaknesses and taking advantage of our opportunities and mitigating against our threats, all the activities that came from our environmental assessment, anything that's going to change in the regulatory environment, I grouped those together. And what we did was we looked through, and I'm giving you how the flow is. You look through and you say to yourself, what can we possibly take on? What can move the needle in 2026? Because we don't have the capacity to do all of these things. There were maybe like 30 different activities that we agreed on. So that's how you want to look at it. You want to ask yourself, and on Monday we did that. I really encourage you to watch Monday's video. That's the day 16 video, where we spoke about execution and the discipline that you want to develop. And you want to ask yourself, there was one question I encourage you to ask yourself. Look at your business. Ask yourself, if everything here didn't change, what's one thing we can do to make a major shift? Once you have answered that question, that should help you in your prioritization. That should help you in selecting the activities that you're going to be focusing on in 2026. And that's how I want you to look at them. Look at everything. Go through. You can even decide that you're going to do high, medium, low. Let's select high, all the activities that are ranked high. Go through the list. Look at the list in its entirety. Dump it on one page. It would have been too much for me to share. You wouldn't be able to see it if I was sharing it here. But that's what I want to encourage you to do. And then you would end up with a list of things that you're doing for 2026. The list might look like this. This is 2 pages, by the way. But this is what it looks like. We're going to be, let me just read some examples. Reviewing your current sales performance. That's important. That's what's ranked high. Updating your product brand packaging. That was ranked high. We're going to be fixing our onboarding gaps. And I want you to also see that on this sheet, one of the things that we're seeing is what's the source of this initiative? Like, where did it come from? And why are we doing that? We're doing that because, remember, I keep saying that we're not documenting things or keeping documents or keeping records. We're documenting it so you can take it and use it and take action. So you know where it's coming from. Okay, where did this initiative come from? We were thinking about opportunities when we looked at our SWOT. You have all your initiatives for 2026. And then those that are ranked medium or low, you move those to 2027 and to 2028. And that's what I want you to do. Because you don't want to go into 2026 thinking that you can do all of these things when maybe you can only do one. I was speaking with someone last week, Monday, at a workshop that I presented at. When I saw her, I asked her, "How are you doing?" And she said, "Michelle, I'm fantastic." And why was she fantastic? She said to me, she has been trying to do all the things in her business and she realized that it's not possible. And sometimes, even though persons say these things to you, we really need to go through and experience it for ourselves. And she said she looked at her business and decided that she's doing two things. She runs a nonprofit. Two things. She's doing a gala and she's going to be revising how the membership works. And she's making the gala a big thing. Those are the only things. You need to prioritize so you can focus. You need to prioritize so your team knows what you're going after. Anything that comes, and again, it's not to say you can't make a decision and change, but at least you know what you're changing. When you have it documented in this way, you are able to say, if we are taking on this new idea, let's look back at the priority list that we have. What are we going to shift? Or are we taking on another resource to work on this while we continue doing the things that we agreed on for 2026? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to look at the full initiatives that you created last week. Don't change them, just look at them. Go through. You can print if you like to write. Print, go through. H for those that are ranked high, M for those medium, and L for low. Go through and rank them. And the things that you have ranked as high, those now you pull those into 2026 and you ask yourself, can we really do it? Then you do a more deeper prioritization, if that makes sense. So I hope this helps, and I hope you understand the flow. Again, if you're just joining, it might seem like, what are we doing? We've been going for 18 days now, so I would really encourage you to watch the previous videos. It does help. They're here. You can watch them while you're working out, watch them listen to them while you're driving. Some of them does require some work, but I want to encourage you to prioritize. You're no matter how large the organization is, all companies prioritize. All companies need to prioritize so your team can focus. One goal that you have can have 10 different layers. And if you don't look on who is doing it, that is where the gap is. And that's one of the things that we spoke about yesterday when we encouraged you to look at the cost to achieving the revenue goals that you have. You may need a new system, you may need a new team member, you may need to improve your process. There are so many things, but you want to look at it from that vantage point and then make a decision now. That's how we're doing the decision today. Make a decision about your priority list, and then that's what you're going to take and work on going into our next session tomorrow. So I see you tomorrow again at 10 a.m. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, book a consultation call with us, and let's talk about how we can help you to get your business to the next level. Thank you again for coming on. I'm Michelle O'Connor, your business growth strategist, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day. Bye.